identify Healthonism. It's quite possible that you've never heard the term Healthonism before, as it was coined only in 2015 by J. Walter Thompson Intelligence. If you've heard of 10K races where the runners take wine breaks instead of water along the way, or of yoga classes being held in craft breweries before tasting parties, you have some notion of the concept. Perhaps Healthonism will end up as just another fad, but it turns out that the seeming odd couple of exercise and alcohol has a basis in science. Recognizing the concept of Healthonism. 1. Combined health and hedonism. Yes, Healthonism is a portmanteau, the combination of the sounds and concepts of two other words. For instance, smog is smoke and fog. Creating new words in this way in order to identify new trends seems to be all the rage, and the seemingly growing trend of combining healthy activities with social drinking has joined the club. 2. Understanding the phenomenon. The trend tracking organization, J. Walter Thompson Intelligence, included Healthonism as part of its JWTI Future 100 for 2016. And like many of the trends on the list, sees it as being driven primarily by millennials. Who exactly fits in the category of a millennial is up for debate, but for JWTI's purposes, it refers to people roughly between the ages of 18 and 35 as of 2015. 3. Find examples of Healthonism. Healthonist activities can take the form of beer runs, as you might find near a college campus, or wine tasting 10K races. In particular, though, it tends to be associated with events at nightclubs, breweries, or other establishments where special events that combine planned exercise and party elements can occur. Assessing the science of Healthonism. 1. Consider why exercise and drinking seem to go together. Legitimate scientific research shows that, notwithstanding factors like age group or day of the week, increased exercise and increased alcohol consumption tend to happen on the same day. The trickier question, it turns out, is why? 2. That same area of the brain is stimulated by both physical exertion and alcohol consumption. Both of them activate your neural reward circuitry, creating feelings of pleasure. Exercise triggers this response because of the advantages of physical activity since humankind's early times. Alcohol was embraced by our ancestors in part because that it just happens to trigger the same pleasure response based on its chemistry. 3. Beware of excessive drinking after exercise. Exercise and alcohol consumption may in fact be a natural pairing instead of the odd couple you might have assumed. This doesn't necessarily make Healthonism healthy, however. Too much of either activity, but especially drinking, or too much of both can have negative consequences, regardless of whether your brain rewards you with a pleasure response.